Hello and welcome to my first session of From the Heart Friday. I'm Jessica Brigden of Jess Be Creative Cardiology, and I'm glad you could join me. So for those of you who are watching live, please feel free to comment and ask questions. And if you are watching this on replay or even on YouTube later, go ahead and send me lots of love and leave your comments for me. So what I had in mind for these From the Heart Friday sessions was an opportunity for us to get to know each other a little bit better. First of all, I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'll be celebrating my 13th anniversary coming up in August. And I love stamping. I love the creative aspect of it, and I love seeing what people can do with so many different mediums, with the stamps, paper, and ink. And then we all come up with so many different things, and it's really amazing and it's fun. I think as adults sometimes we get away from that creative aspect and that play, but really it's so important for our own well-being, and it's a lot of fun and a great way to connect with others. So I'm glad you could join me here. Today I have a little bit of art from the heart planned for us. We are going to be using the Modern Heart stamp set. When I saw this in the catalog, I knew it was going on the top of my shopping list. It was the first thing I was going to order. So I don't have the finished project here to show you. I hope you'll stay here with me and chat and see what we can create. So bear with me. I'm going to flip the screen around so that you can actually see the work table here. So we're going to flip this. Okay, so I'm going to flip here so you can see the table. Hey Diana, looks like she's watching with me, and it looks like everything is backwards, so let me flip that back for you. Okay, so I just need to go ahead and get my camera back in place. That's the learning curve here with this, is trying to figure out all of my technology. All right, but it looks like you can see that. Okay, so there we go. That's my logo, Jess Be Creative Cardiology, with the little heart and the flowers here. And that's really where From the Heart Friday came from. And the creative cardiology was actually a team effort when I had started building my team of Stampin' Up demonstrators, and we had a little craft session throwing out ideas of what we should call ourselves. And somebody mentioned, well, we make art from the heart. So with that, creative cardiology was born. I just kind of ran with it. So the Modern Heart stamp set that we'll be using today is here on page 51 in the Stampin' Up catalog. And I love the cool geometric shapes of the heart there, as well as so many of these wonderful sayings. So for my card base, I have taken a sheet of Coastal Cabana, and I just cut that in half. So really when you craft, or at least when I craft, I like to make two, because you've already cut that paper in half, and it's just as easy to make two cards as it is one. So go ahead and score that, and we'll set the base aside. Now I have paired that with some Night of Navy here. So you'll really see as you get to know me a little bit, Coastal Cabana is my most favorite color. And then pretty much everything in my wardrobe is some shade of tealy, aqua, or blue here. All right, so there we go. I have cut this navy so that it's a 1/2 inch smaller. I wanted to have a little bit of that border around the edge there. So the navy piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And then what I've done is I have taken a sheet of shimmery white. Now I'm not sure if you can see that here, but this is the shimmery. It does have a little bit of sparkle to it. And I've cut that just a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna wait before I glue that down because we're gonna get a little messy. But I've cut that so that it is at 3.5 by 4 3/4, and that'll leave us a 1/4 inch border of the navy. Okay, so setting my card bases aside, starting with my shimmery white, and what I want to do first is take my heart. Help if I had a block here. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my heart in Versamark ink because I'm going to do a little bit of embossing, and I'm going to check this. I haven't used my Versamark in a little bit, but it looks like it's good and juicy on there. I always keep an ink refill handy just in case. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm stamp that right in the center there. And I'm going to try this 2 different ways. So the first way I'm going to do this is with the Whisper White. So I'm going to pour some Whisper White powder on here. Okay, so you can see that the powder just sticks to where that bit of ink was. I'm going to set this aside. And then I'm going to plug in my heat tool. And we're going to emboss that. Okay, so bear with the sound here. We're going to do a little heating. You do want to keep this a little bit of a distance from the image so that you don't burn it and the paper. Keep circling it around. There we go. We can start to see those powder change to a shiny embossed design there. Okay. All right, looks like we're good on that. So that's the first way I want to try it. And like I said, we're going to do 2 here. So I'm going to re-ink my stamp. You always want this good and juicy so the powder will stick. All right, right there about in the center. Okay, and this time I'm going to try some gold embossing powder. Get my other little tray here. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of change it up a little bit and then see which one we like best. Okay. Do my little brush here. I should have used my embossing buddy to remove any extra static cling there. But again, set this aside. You don't want to end up melting your entire tray of embossing powder or putting the heat tool on it and having it spray everywhere. And it's one of those ask me how I know things. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and heat this. All right, again, moving it all over so that you don't scorch your paper. There we go. It's so fun to see these transformations. Embossing is definitely one of the techniques that really sold me on stamping. Okay, looks like we've got it. Okay. Unplug my heat tool here. All right, so what I have next is I thought it would be fun to play with the new watercolor crystals. These are like the Brusho crystals that we had in the past catalog. They come in 6 Stampin' Up colors here in these cute little bottles. We have the gorgeous grape, melon mambo. I definitely want to use that one. We have daffodil delight and mango melody. I think I'm going to go with the daffodil. And then we've got Bermuda Bay and Granny Apple Green. So I think I'm going to go with these 3 colors because if we mix essentially the red and the blue, we'll end up with an orange tint. And if we mix the blue and the yellow, we'll end up with a green. So I think this will do it for me. the cool thing about these, not only do they have the little color spots on the top so you know what you're working with, but they've got these fun little caps here that has these 3 little precision holes that help keep your stamping under control here. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of shadow here on my, apologize for that. All right, but we're just going to sprinkle, woo, we don't need much. All right, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of each. And they will kind of blend together a little bit. All right, and then a little bit of the Bermuda Bay. And that will just kind of see what, put some of that through. The cool thing with this is you really never know what you're going to get. The outcome is different every time. Okay, so I'm setting those aside, and then I've got my Stampin' Spritzer here. Looks like I need just a little bit more water. So I'll go ahead and add that before we spray away here. So it is handy to have a paper towel or something else nearby just to soak up any messes. Let's see, those colors do really kind of make a mess. Somehow I've got some Bermuda Bay up there under my fingernail, and it's coloring all kinds of things. So let's see what we come up with here. One of the reasons for my using the shimmery white, ooh, look at that, is because the shimmery white is a little bit thicker, holds up to that, all this water that we're using. Ooh, I think I like the way this one's coming out just a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't really want that to run all over the place. I'm gonna just hold this with my bone folder here, and I'm actually gonna just tap up some of the excess. Okay, because that's a little more than I wanted. And then with this too, I just soak some of that up, because I love the color, but I don't want it quite that dark. Okay. In fact, we could even just give it a little once over with the heat tool, just to make sure it's dry. I'm gonna just kind of use this. I'm not gonna hold it very close because I don't want to burn my embossing, but I do want my paper to dry and flatten out just a little bit here. Okay. You can start to see some of the shimmer come through. All right, that looks really cool. Okay, so as you can see, these do tend to make a mess, so you definitely want to have some cleanup tools handy, because these are pigment. They're sprinkles, but they're pigment ink here. And as you can see, I've made a nice watercolor mess here of my mat. And I'm just gonna clean that up here with a wipe, just so I don't have permanent sprinkles all over it. You don't want to do this on your dining table without some kind of protection on there. I do have some permanent marks when I did a class, and one of them did kind of spill over here. All right, get that good and cleaned up. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, not that you needed me to see me clean my mat here, but it's definitely a good thing to have some of these tools handy. Okay. All right, so just go ahead and dry that off. And then we've got these to be able to mount on here. Now that they're dry, we can go ahead and put our adhesive on. A little bit of snail adhesive, and I like to go a little overboard just to make sure that it actually sticks there. I'm gonna do this just in case there's any extra crystals on there. All right, and then this one. Oh, see, we've got a couple people watching. Thanks for sticking with me here. Okay, so go ahead and mount that on that. So isn't that amazing that each one comes out so differently? Okay. So I can't tell, which one do you like, the gold or the white? It looks like the white pops just a little bit better. But I kind of like this one that didn't have quite as much color on there. So I'm going to use my Stays On ink to stamp my sentiment. And I'm going to go ahead and re-ink this. The Stays On pad tends to dry out a little bit easily. So I like to keep my re-inker handy. And I did want to be able to stamp on here without it smearing, just in case it was a little wet still. So we have You're My Person, I Just Love You, You're All Heart, Thank You, You're in My Thoughts and in My Heart, and So Happy For You. So I think I'll see if this You're in My Thoughts and in My Heart, it looks like that will fit right in there. So I'll grab my block again. All right. So the Stays On is one of those pads you do have to tap around. It's a different kind of ink. It's a solvent ink. And I'm gonna stamp that right here in the corner. All right. And I almost think I'm going to leave the sentiment off of that one. I am going to clean my pad real quick. There's my stamp there, because especially when you're working with Stays On, because it's a solvent, it will stain your rubber stamps. But if you clean it quickly, then that's not too bad. Actually, I never cleaned the heart from before, so I'm going to clean that too. Clean the Versamark off of that. Okay. All right. Our stamps are an investment there, so we want to take good care of them. All right, so we've got our 2 cards here. And to finish it off, I thought we'd use just a little bit of bling. So I have grabbed the Noble Peacock rhinestones, and these are really cool because they come in all these fun different colors. In fact, the colors of these are, we've got some Blueberry Bushel, the Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Old Olive, and Pretty Peacock. So I think maybe I'll go ahead and use a couple of those Melon Mambo rhinestones on here. Oh, I can go ahead and open them. Okay. I thought I had my multi-purpose tool handy, but looks like I'll have to use my little paper snips here. But I think I'll just put just a couple of these little rhinestones around, and maybe one right up here. Okay. And then on this one, we've got lots of the Melon Mambo. The colors did bleed together, so it looks like we've even got a little close to the Pretty Peacock on there. So maybe on that one, maybe we'll do that. We'll do the Pretty Peacock rhinestones on here. So a little here. It's fun to do these just wherever, and do them in 3s. That way it kind of draws attention to the different angles of your card there. All right, so it looks like, I think we're finished. I think these are great. So what I thought, especially since this is from the Heart Friday, is it would be fun to give one of these cards away. So go ahead and make sure you like and share and give me a little love here on the video. Like my business page so that you'll get updates and notifications of when I'm going live and the different events that I have going on. And then share this little video. Everybody that comments on here this coming week, next Friday I'll announce a winner of who will be receiving one of these beautiful cards. And two, my hostess code, if you'd like to purchase any of the supplies for these items, you can go to my online store at stampinup.com, Jessica Brigden, and my hostess code for June here is QZEY66PD. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to maybe give away the Modern Heart stamp set. So what I'm going to ask for this is everybody who places an order with me, you're using the June code, when we reach enough, our order total reaches enough to qualify for hostess benefits, then I will draw a name from everybody who has ordered using my code and give away a Modern Heart stamp set. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you will come back next week and see what fun we have in store. If you have any questions, things that you would like to know about me, or stamping questions, anything you'd like me to cover, go ahead and leave that in the comments and I will work that into the next video. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.